Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, we're going to be going over some beginner tips and tricks in King Arthur Legends Rise. And if you're not familiar yet, King Arthur Legends Rise is a brand new Hero Collector Squad RPG from Netmarble that is completely free to try out, and I'll provide you all the links you need down below in the description so you can try the game out free of charge, whether you're on PC, mobile, or whatever device you prefer to play on. But okay, so just in general, when you're diving in, I would prioritize progressing the storyline as far as you can, and then when you get stuck in the storyline, go back and grind some dungeons, and we'll talk about which to prioritize here, in my opinion, when you're first diving in. Another quick tip is you can click over here on the right side to quickly navigate. So if I want to see where I'm at currently in the story, I just click on that on the right side and it's going to bring it up. And if you're doing adventure and you need to kind of move around the map, it will auto navigate you if you just click over there on the right. So you can see right here, if I'm kind of doing adventure quests, I can move around the map like this freely here. I'm clicking with my mouse here on the PC as I'm recording, but I can also click over here on the right side where it says reunited with Isolde, obtain the rose. I can click on that, and now no hands, I'm just auto navigating to where I need to go. So take advantage of those tabs over there on the right. You don't have to do everything manually. You can actually click those to navigate around. Something else that you really want to focus on when you're new to the game is down here on the bottom left of the screen at your main estate. There's going to be that button for Royal Road. We're going to click on that. We're going to go through these different paths to make sure that we are actually progressing them as best we can. You can click directly on it and it'll kind of take you to where you need to go. So just make sure, because sometimes you'll have like a bunch of stuff in the forward part of the path done, and there'll be one little thing holding you up on the kind of back line. Like right here, maybe I've got a bunch of this stuff over here done and I just need to get through one here that's blocking me. And so you want to make sure you're kind of going through and check in to make sure there isn't a bottleneck yet on your path of power, because that'll be a great way for you to kind of learn the different mechanics of the game and also acquire some free resources for your account. But then also right next to Royal Road, you'll see down here on the bottom left with the power up guide. Now, this is a great shortcut. Utilize this a lot to get to the dungeon you want to do immediately. You can go up here in your estate to the restricted area and click on the power up dungeon and kind of go where you want to go. But it is right there on the bottom left of the screen via the power up guide. And then you can just go over to advance, Plane of the Beasts, or whatever you want to clear. And while we're on the subject of the power-up guide and the dungeons and all that, I did say that we would talk about the dungeons to prioritize when you're new. Let's say you got to a sticking point in the main story, so you're gonna dive out to some dungeons and stuff to progress. Maybe you're full on stamina currently, like I am right now up in the top right. You don't want to be full on stamina. You want to make sure you're always generating stamina. So what I would do as a player, when I see that my account is full at 104 over 104, I would go spend that. That way I've got a few hours where I'm regenerating stamina. You want to acquire as much free stamina as you can, obviously. So make sure that's not capped out. You want to log in often enough to keep that stamina low so you're always getting free stamina. And if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're like, I'm stuck on the main story and I really want to make sure I'm spending my stamina on something, I'm kind of new to the game, I don't know exactly what would be super efficient for me to spend my stamina, you really can't go wrong doing the Plane of the Beasts, in my opinion. If you're kind of stuck and don't know what to do, just go ahead and slam your stamina in the Plane of the Beasts, because one of the first bottlenecks that you get to as a new player in King Arthur is probably going to be these mythic mana orbs, because this is going to be what is needed for you to get those heroes maxed out and get them to 6-star. So you really can't have enough of those mythic mana orbs, especially when you're new to the game. And maybe you can't do level 7, level 8 to get them to naturally drop in the Plane of the Beasts. That's totally fine, because something King Arthur does that's a great resource for you is they allow you to convert the lesser orbs, like the legendary mana orbs, into mythic orbs. So if you do have a ton of these that you've acquired from spending your stamina in the Plane of the Beast to prepare for getting more 6-star heroes, that's okay, because you can go ahead and exchange them up to get more mythic mana orbs. And while we're on the subject of the mythic mana orbs and getting 6-star heroes and all of that, I would recommend for the majority of you to go ahead and take a rare hero to 6-star first. And the reason I say that is because if we go to my Merwin right here and then we do advance, you can see there it's going to cost me 50 of these mythic mana orbs. But if I go to a rare hero Like right here with one of my healers in Clementine, and I go to power up and advance. Look at that, it's 25 mythic orbs instead of 50. That's a big deal when you're new to the game, because you can basically 6-star 2 rare heroes for the same cost as 1 legendary by spending those mythic mana orbs. So you can get a big power creep by focusing on a rare first, which is why on my account you'll see here that my first 6-star is Kay. She's a pretty good option. If you don't know, if you're like, I don't know what hero to invest in first, King Arthur actually does give you a really cool tool. You can see right here up in the top right, I've got 1 reset available. So you don't have to super worry about it. If you do end up being like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have invested in this hero, it's okay. You're going to at some point be able to reset it. So don't stress too bad about it. But if you don't know, I just don't know what rare to invest in as my first 6-star, Kay is a pretty solid option. You generally want to maybe think about doing one that is a damage dealer, a pretty just generally useful utility damage dealer. So Kay is a good one if you can't kind of find any options you really like. I did go with her first here as my first 6-star. Also, when you're getting ready to battle in game, there are some really great features that some new players miss and don't take advantage of. So this is kind of like the main screen of the Plane of Beasts, where I'm getting ready to assemble a team and dive into battle. Now, if you don't know what to do, if you're like, I don't really know what's good in the Plane of Beasts yet, I'm a new player. Well, there's a really cool feature up here on the top right, this golden star icon. You click on that and it's going to auto-fill a team based on who you're currently developing on your account, and fill in some heroes that are gonna make some sense based on the tags available in game. And what I mean by the tags available, right here, if I click on the little eye icon on the left center of the screen, it's gonna bring up the boss and it's gonna show you the recommended tags. So it's saying to bring multi-hit and additional attack, and then if you can click on each one of those, it shows you who you have currently in your roster that would be a good pick for that. So what it's doing is it's kind of putting your highest combat power heroes that match those recommended tags. It's going to autofill them when you click that golden star icon. So you can use this to your advantage in other ways. Like, let's say I want to get a stronger nest team because I want to start getting some of those offensive equipment sets to make my heroes stronger, but I don't really know a ton about running the nest and what heroes I have that I should be working on. Well, what you can do is just go in there, pull it up, and then click on the recommended tags icon right there, and it's going to show you Mark and Iskalhaig Slayer. I have no idea how to say that. Iskalhaig. Let's go with it. But anyway, it's going to show you which heroes in your current roster would be options to think about getting after and progressing right there. So definitely use the recommended tags as you're learning the game and get a grip for kind of what heroes would benefit you the most, and you could kind of use in the most different areas in order to progress all of these different options within the game. Which again, you'll see right here, I can clear out my team and then click on this and oh, okay, I would have some heroes to work on. It is saying that Morgan is a good choice, but then it's even got a couple rares and uncommons that fit best currently for my roster in terms of matching up with those recommended tags. It can be pretty cheap to get the first few, like get up to level 30, level 40 and stuff like that. And remember, you do have that reset. So if you want to try out a recommended team just to kind of start learning the game and see how it goes, don't feel bad about that. Go ahead and slam it in and then see how you're able to progress in the dungeon. And something that is insanely great about King Arthur is down on the bottom of the screen, you'll see right here, I don't have to do one run at 8 stamina per run. I can go ahead and tab this up to ×3, and now I'm basically crunching 3 runs into the time span of clearing it one time. Very, very cool feature. And that's not all. See how I have 104 stamina up there in the top right? If I start battle, what's going to happen is if I want to back out, maybe I misclicked, or what's most common is I'm trying to clear a stage and my team ends up losing, no big deal. You can click up here, you can forfeit the fight, back out, whether it's intentional or unintentional because you lost, and then look at that. I'm still going to have 104 stamina up in the top right. It didn't cost me literally anything. So don't feel bad. Try teams out, try to progress as far as you can, try to get those dungeons progressed as best you can, and if you lose, it's okay. Just back out. It didn't cost you any stamina. Go ahead and then just back up to the stage you're able to clear. Also, really quickly, I've had some friends that I know who are trying out the game, and sometimes when they're brand new, they wonder about, like, where do I see the kit and the abilities of heroes and all that? Well, if you go into your heroes tab right here, all you gotta do is click on over to relics, and then it's going to show you the different abilities for the hero. The reason it's not on the first kind of info tab is because there's a really cool feature in King Arthur Legends Rise where each hero can be played in multiple different ways based on the element or relic that you're equipping on them, but they do have a default. So if I click over here on relics, now I can see right now that my Merwin is going to be on the ice relic. So what that means is I'm going to be using these abilities down here on the bottom, and this is where you can click on them to see their kit and what abilities they're going to have. And you can look like, well, wait, okay, so Merwin's pretty cool with ice. These abilities look nice, but what's he do with fire? Oh, okay. Flaming orbs, Phoenix's advance. Okay. What about the wind here? Okay. All right. Storm arrows. Okay, cool. So you can see the different. There's like 3 kits for each hero, which means there's gonna be 3 options for kit here on the heroes. So just head on over to the relics tab and you'll be able to tab through those and kind of look at the different kit abilities and what's going on with the hero. But okay, that's some of the top level tips and tricks that I want you to know about if you're new to trying out King Arthur Legends Rise. And if you haven't tried it out yet, I'm going to provide the link down below in the vid description. You can try it out completely free of charge, mobile, PC, or whatever device you enjoy playing on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace.